Good morning and welcome to my blog, Wisdom for Today. And here it is, just a couple of days before Thanksgiving. And I'm going to give my last proclamation of Thanksgiving. Going to read that one to you. And this one's going to be Roosevelt's proclamation of Thanksgiving in 1939, when America was just celebrating their victory of World War II. Now, last week we talked about the proclamation that he gave when America had entered that awesome war. You know, I grew up in San Diego, which was a military town. And I remember one Sunday night, someone had brought a picture book from World War II to church. And there was a bunch of adult men who were looking through it. And I was sitting in the pew before them and I was listening to the conversation because the conversation was very reverent. And I remember one man saying very clearly that in his neighborhood there wasn't a single person on his block that hadn't lost one child during that war. And so there was as much as shouts of victory as there was tears of grief when victory was announced. And I can believe it because, according to the statistics, over 400,000 military personnel were lost. And I would remind you that your average serviceman only made $210 a month for giving his life for his country. We won that war, but at a great cost. But we also put down a monster like Adolf Hitler. Today, as I read this proclamation, I want us to think about how victory often comes to us at a cost. But how even in the cost, when we're praising God for what He's done in our lives, we can still give thanks for the good things that He's given us. So hear the proclamation. Thanksgiving Day 1939, by the President of the United States of America, a proclamation. I, Franklin D. Roosevelt, President of the United States of America, do hereby designate Thursday, the 23rd of November, 1939, as a day of general thanksgiving. More than 3 centuries ago, at the season of the gathering in of the harvest, the pilgrims humbly paused in their work and gave thanks to God for the preservation of their community and for the abundant yield of the soil. A century and a half later, after the new nation had been formed and our charter government, the Constitution of the Republic, had received assent of the states, and President Washington and his successors invited the people of the nation to lay down their tasks for one day in the year and give thanks for the blessings that had been granted them by divine providence. It is fitting that we should continue this hallowed custom and select a day in 1939 to be dedicated to reverent thoughts of thanksgiving. Our nation has steadily gone forward in the application of the democratic process to economic and social problems. We have faced the specters of business, depression, of unemployment, of widespread agriculture distress. Our positive efforts to alleviate these conditions have met with heartening results. We have also been permitted to see the fruition of measures which we have undertaken in the realms of health, social welfare, and conservation of resources. As a nation, we are deeply grateful that in a world of turmoil, we are at peace with all countries, and we especially rejoice in the strength and bonds of our friendship with other peoples of the Western Hemisphere. Let us, on the day set aside for this purpose, give thanks to the ruler of the universe for the strength which He has vouchsafed us to carry our daily labors and for the hope that lives within us to the coming day when peace and productive activities of peace shall reign on every continent. In witness thereof, I have set unto my hand and caused the seal of the United States to be affixed. Peace comes and goals are won sometimes at a cost. But we should always have room for thanksgiving in our hearts, because that's a reality. And the thanksgiving gives us strength to face the trials. As you gather around your table this Thursday, I pray that you'll have a time to thank God for things that only He could have done in your life. And to also think about your own labors and your own sacrifices to bring about God's will in a small measure. As we're obedient to Him, He does great things through us. I hope to see you in church on Sunday, and I hope you have a blessed Thanksgiving. God's blessings, and have a good day.